Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Money, Real Business podcast. I'm Lauren, and today we have Josh on the show, who's selling an Amazon FBA and e-commerce business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. Hey Josh, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Hey, doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Really great to have you here. Can't wait to learn more about your business. But before we dive in, I'm going to give the listeners a brief overview of the business just so that they know what we're talking about. As I mentioned, this is an Amazon FBA and e-commerce business. It was created in May 2017, and it's in the art, home, and travel niches. The average revenue for the business is $72,221 per month, and it makes an average of $10,723 per month in net profit. The assets included in the sale are an Amazon Seller Central account with 23 SKUs, a domain and all site content and files, supplier relationships, a Shopify account, an Etsy account, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, and YouTube social media accounts, trademarks, and an email list with 2,839 subscribers. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 67368 to learn more about this business. Or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So with all of that out of the way, let's dive into the interview. Josh, can you fill us in on your background in starting and running online businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is actually the first online business that I've owned and run. My partner and I became interested in the Amazon FBA and e-commerce business models in 2022 and researched them extensively and ended up purchasing an established business actually from this same marketplace, Empire Flippers, at the end of 2020. I've been operating it since then.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's great that you've had this much success with your first business. I'm sure it inspires you to just keep on going. What was it about this particular business that attracted you to it when you saw it on the marketplace?
Yeah, so we really loved the quality of the product, the professionalism of the listings, and just the attention to detail shown throughout the whole business. Just really made it stand out from the other brands that were also for sale that we considered from this and other marketplaces. And yeah, we just got really excited about it, and it seemed like it had a great history, great reviews, and it would just continue to be a really profitable asset when we purchased it.
Yeah, absolutely. And were you looking for an Amazon FBA business in particular? And if so, why did you want to be on that platform?
Yeah, so Amazon FBA was certainly kind of the subset of e-commerce that we're the most interested in when we were searching. And really, it's just the simplicity and the scale that you can achieve with the FBA business model without the need for a large team or the need to be tied down to a physical location that we really resonated with my partner and I. And yeah, the freedom of owning and running the business when you don't have to, you can leverage Amazon's fulfillment services makes it just really great. It's been a huge positive, the flexibility it provides.
Yeah, absolutely. I think being able to rely on Amazon for that fulfillment is the perfect option if this is your first foray into online business. The business earns the majority of its income from Amazon FBA, but there are some other revenue streams. Can you walk me through what those are?
Yeah, so we also have an Etsy store, and we sell through there the same product, same SKUs, along with our own website that we've built through Shopify. So those two additional sales channels make up a very small percentage of our total sales, and they're integrated really nicely with Amazon in that we have an integration software that we use to have Amazon still fulfill the orders that come in through those sales channels through Amazon MCF, multi-channel fulfillment. So they all work together and are fulfilled from Amazon's network.
Yeah, that multi-channel fulfillment is great. At least you don't have to have your fingers in lots of different pies and fulfilling things yourself. So it's great that you're able to do that. You've built the business up really well since you purchased it from us not too long ago. What are the reasons you've decided to exit the business now?
I've actually been given an opportunity to launch a career in software engineering, which is actually something I've been interested in and I've decided I really want to pursue. It's been an amazing ride running and owning this business, but yeah, just given this new path will require my full-time attention, we've decided to put the business up for sale.
Yeah, that's really exciting. All the best of luck with your new career.
Thank you.
So, looking back over your journey with this business, I'm sure there were some really standout moments where you felt that you'd gone above and beyond and great success stories. So, what would you say was your biggest win since starting the business?
I'd say that we took an already great catalog of products and improved upon them, added some variations and improved profitability on products by driving down cost of goods sold in some areas to improve our margins and really build some systems and metrics for efficiently running the business that we're happy to share or pass on to the new owner if they're interested in that. And then just really the sustained healthy growth that we've seen in the business year over year, even as things have changed with Amazon. Altogether, those are kind of our portfolio of biggest wins.
Yeah, it's great that you were able to optimize the business even more than when you took it over by reducing those costs, as you say. I'm sure there were some things that didn't quite go according to plan. So, were there any setbacks or challenges that you had to overcome?
Yeah, certainly. The biggest of which, by a wide margin, I would say, is last year, the war in Ukraine that happened actually really affected our supply chain. One of our product lines at the time was sourced exclusively in Ukraine. And so this just caused us to very rapidly need to rework our supply chain. And it was a challenging time, but we actually came out of it with lower cost of goods sold for this product line and a great new manufacturer relationship that kind of diversified our sourcing options and made us more stable and profitable in the long term.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Great that you were able to make a good outcome from a bad situation. Let's take a look at your traffic now. How do you drive viewers to your products? Are you using PPC or listing description SEO?
Yeah, so we use Amazon PPC extensively and work with an ad management agency who runs these campaigns. They're really great. And, we chat often whenever needed, periodically to take a look at our high level goals and make adjustments as needed. We drive a lot of sales through PPC. However, that really is our main marketing spend and effort that drives sales outside of organic sales through Amazon. We've experimented a bit with Facebook ads and Google ads for our Shopify store, but honestly just don't really have the expertise to leverage those effectively and haven't put the time in to build that expertise. So, yeah, that's probably one of the biggest opportunities for the business, I would say, is to increase that.
Well, let's follow on from that train of thought. So, what do you see as the major opportunities that a buyer can tap into here?
I'd say just increasing the marketing footprint. Our Amazon ads, in my opinion, are performing at a really good optimized level, but there's just still a lot of opportunities with the right partnership or the right social media slash marketing expertise. I feel like there's a lot of additional sales that can be generated through our social media following, paid ads, our email list, Facebook group, just areas that are kind of a weakness of mine and have been underutilized in the 2 years that we have been running and growing the business.
Yeah, I think that's great. A buyer with skills in that area can really elevate the business. Let's take a dive into your supply chain. So, you mentioned that you did have some supply chain problems after you took over the business, but what does your supply chain look like now? How many suppliers are you using and where are they based?
Yeah, so we have 4 different suppliers right now, one for each product line, except for one of the product lines that was previously sourced exclusively in Ukraine is now we have options. We can source from Ukraine or from China there. So yeah, one supplier in Ukraine and then 3 in China. And we place orders every 2 to 3 months right now, and they take about 30 days to manufacture. I think it's 30 days, all 4 actually, a little bit less time for our Ukraine manufacturer, although shipping times are longer to still the unrest in that area. So we send inventory by sea almost exclusively, unless there's some need for a rush order, right? Again, referencing last year, we had to do some air shipments as we were reworking our supply chain. But under normal circumstances, we plan ahead, ship things by sea for the best rates. And that generally takes between 30 and 45 days from China to the USA. So when our shipments arrive, they arrive either to New Jersey or California ports. And we have 3PL warehouses in both those locations in California and in New Jersey. And we hold the cases of product there and then kind of trickle them into Amazon as makes sense to keep our inventory performance index IPI score optimal and make sure we always have stock, don't run out, etc.
So because you're making use of those 3PLs, I presume that you haven't run into any storage limitations at Amazon?
Correct. Yeah, that was an issue. There was a pretty big change to how Amazon was handling storage limitations when the pandemic really came into full force, I guess. And that's when we had to shift to storing more in our 3PL warehouses, kind of changing that ratio between Amazon fulfillment center stock and 3PL stock. But yeah, right now we have no issues with our Amazon limits. We sell standard size products and oversized products. And the way that Amazon handles such things right now, we're utilizing 45% of our standard size product limit of storage space and about 16% of our oversized inventory limit. So we can send all that we need to run sales or, to account for seasonality. Yeah, it works pretty well right now.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like you've optimized that process very well and that you've got a lot of room to play with that storage. Does the business experience any seasonality?
Yeah, so in our product categories, or rather the niches we sell in, there's one of our product lines that certainly sells the most by far in November and December. But actually, over the years that we've been building the product line since acquiring the business, the seasonality has flattened considerably. So November through kind of March, I would say, is the biggest sales period for our business. We have a big increase around the holidays and then some secondary purchases kind of that play off of our product lines are complementary. And so then we see a lot of follow up sales of our other product line in the early part of the year. So there's some seasonality.
Yeah, not unusual for a business like this. So you mentioned we. Do you have a partner in the business who works with you?
A partner, not who works with me, but the two of us together brought capital and kind of operational know-how and time together for our partnership. So I'm the sole person working on the business, although there are two owners.
Okay, right. And do you have any employees or contractors that work with you?
We don't. Right now, we just work with that PPC marketing agency. And aside from that, things are pretty optimized and run smoothly.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like you've got a good handle on operating this business and doing it quite passively as well. What does a typical work week look like for you when running the business? How many hours are you spending on it? And what are the main activities that are taking up your time?
Yeah, so it really depends on what's going on. If we're trying to launch a new product or expand to a new marketplace, some of those things that we've done over the years have involved more time spent. But where we're at right now, maintaining our current sales channels and listings that we have is, like you said, fairly passive. So on a typical week, I'll check in on listings, monitor reviews and messages from customers, and update things as needed, respond to customers. But it's an extremely small number, maybe one or two a week of times that customers reach out. And aside from that, yeah, just kind of monitoring Amazon inventory levels, check in on those, and we'll send inventory from our 3PL warehouses to Amazon FBA warehouses through the systems we have to communicate with them. And yeah, check in on sales trends and plan for next purchase orders. Aside from that, if there are any purchase orders that are in the works, I check in on the status of those and make sure that the supply chain is going smoothly. But all in all, I'm spending, perhaps 5 hours a week checking in on things and replenishing inventory, etc.
Well, yeah, I mean, it certainly sounds like the business is running like a well-oiled machine. With that in mind, what do you think the biggest challenge will be for a buyer taking over this business, having done it so yourself just a few years ago?
That's a good question. Yeah, so where we're at right now, there's no real looming challenges on the horizon. if your goal is to kind of just maintain the assets, the listings, et cetera, as they are. But certainly, if your goal is to scale rapidly, then launching new products or expanding to different sales channels are always great opportunities, but can be challenging and involve risk, of course. But yeah, the niches that we sell in are well established. We have great reviews and great review counts. We're well established, and there's no impending rush of new competition, et cetera, on the horizon.
Fantastic. If the buyer does run into any challenges, how much support are you willing to offer them to help ease them through that transition?
Yeah, so I'd say 45 days of call and email support being really readily accessible is what we've planned on. But certainly, even past that time, if there's a question that pops up, more than happy to help out whenever I can.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think your advice, especially as someone who came into this business as a buyer, I think will be invaluable to the buyer of this business. When it comes to negotiating the sale, would you be open to negotiating something like an earn-out agreement?
Yeah, I think we're open to discuss that with the buyer potentially.
Wonderful. And would you commit to a non-compete?
Yes, just kind of shifting careers paths at this point, so shouldn't be any issue.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if there was. Given that this was your first online business that you run and operated, I'm sure there are many people listening to this podcast who would like to get into the world of online business themselves. Do you have any advice that you would give to them that you wish you knew when you first bought this business?
I would say just make sure you know the business model inside and out. I thought that I had done a whole lot of research and really understood it before purchasing the business, but actually really running a business, you always encounter new things. So yeah, I'd say just coming into it, being willing to learn and adapt, right? As the economy changes, as Amazon changes, as long as you're willing to learn and adapt, you'll be in good shape.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. I think entrepreneurs have to be flexible, especially in the world of online business.
hmm
So, Josh, that leads us to the final question of the interview, the one we've been building up to. So, if you had to put yourself into the shoes of a buyer, why do you think your business is a business worth buying?
This is kind of an easy question because it's one that I had to answer for myself. My partner and I had to answer for ourselves when we were purchasing it years ago. And the answer is pretty much the same, which is it's really worth buying because of just the high quality products and listings, the excellent reviews, and the long history, even longer now, of profitability and growth. So it really is just a safe bet and one with still plenty of opportunities for growth.
Yeah, it certainly seems like a business that's proved itself over the years. Is there anything else that you'd like to share about your business that I might have missed?
No, I don't think so. I covered all the points.
Fantastic. Well, in that case, Josh, thank you so much for coming onto the show and giving us some insights into you and your business. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, and all the best of luck with your new adventure.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 67368. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.